What's up, guys? It's Ludski. So I just want to give you an update for Thanksgiving on the Gladiator. Quite a few things have changed, obviously, since stock. So I'm going to start from the front end and work my way back. So first off, I got Genrite aluminum front bumper. I've had it powder coated gloss black, so it matches the paint. Got a Warren VR 10,000 synthetic winch. Some rigid SAE fog, so these are the street legal ones, keep in mind. A Factor 55 Fairlink, some Poison Spider D-rings, Nemesis Industries, they're notorious flares, so these are the factory whipped ones, front and rear. They also are aluminum, come raw, so I had them powder coated to match the paint as well. Kind of get a feel for how far they stick out. They're super dope. One of the few actual Gladiator ones on the market. So that was pretty awesome. Went ahead and did a Synergy 3-inch front only lift kit. So what that means is, because the front end is the exact same as the JL, went ahead and did their steering, their coils, adjustable upper and lower control arms. At the time, they didn't have a track bar, so I just threw on a rough country until they can get one released for me. Fox shocks. Again, they didn't have JL sway bar links yet, so we had some laying off one of our JKs and threw those guys on there temporarily until I get them replaced. Super cool snap-on stackable bump stop, so if you need to change the height, you can always just snap them together. Their chromoly steering kit. So that's going to include the drag link as well as the tie rod. And if you have enough lift, you can actually flip it if you drill out the knuckle, just like the JK series. Gonna work your way over. See, another thing we did was a Synergy track bar as well as a steering box brace. Let's see if I can get a video of that. So that's a huge thing on the JL and JT platform. If you watch the videos of guys turning their steering wheel, you can actually see the track bar mount itself move, as well as the sector shaft on the steering box moves back and forth, so this really helps stiffen things up. We put them on every single Gladiator and JL that comes in here, whether it's stock or it's lifted, and it makes huge differences, so I highly recommend doing it. Another shot of the control arms. Axle's off center right now, so that's why it's rubbing right there. I didn't feel like taking too much time to adjust it until I got the real track bar in. Fox 2.0s, have them front and rear. Nemesis Industries also makes inner fender liners, so they have two versions, a standard one, as well as one designed for 40-inch tires. So I went ahead and did the 40-inch tire one. I had to cut off about this much of the body, but what that does is when my wheels are turned, I now have the clearance, and it gives a lot more space, so that's super nice. Added some Rubicon rails since mine was the Sport. Didn't have any protection armor, and no one has any rockers that I wanted just yet, so I just threw those on until I can get some. Let's see. Interior is still the same as last time. I have my 67 Designs mount, phone mount that comes up here. You can get ones with GoPros, you can get a secondary one for the passenger or an iPad, whatever you want to do. So I have my phone mount, it's awesome. It's one of my favorite things, actually. I have the generic sound system, so it has one of the upgraded touchscreen head units, but it doesn't have upgraded speakers or subwoofer. So I got the Alpine subwoofer, which sits underneath the passenger seat here. And then I upgraded kicker tweeters, front and rear. That made a huge difference. The mid and lows are just a 4-inch speaker, so it's not really that crucial to upgrade, plus how much time it takes. On the JL, I put some focals in there, and it barely made a sound difference to where it wasn't worth spending $1,500 on speakers, so I just threw in some kickers instead, and they do the job awesome. Back seat's dirty. With the lift kit, I put on 40-inch tires. Now, a lot of you guys knew I was running the 40s with stock and the Nemesis flares, so that was cool, but it did limit me in a lot of ways, so I definitely went ahead and put on the 40s from the JL. Same wheels and everything, so it's got that black and bronze look again. Put on a bed rack. So this one's made by Artec Industries. It's all aluminum. Super dope. It's the mid-height. I chose that one for one. When I stack stuff on top, it's not sitting that much over what the actual top of the cab is, so I don't have to worry about clearance issues. But two, a lot of the ones that are actually cab height, because of the way the wind stream goes, they cause a whistling effect, and I did not want to deal with that. So this one comes texture powder coated. Just requires a lot of assembly, as you can see. 4 bolts, 4 bolts, 3 bolts, 3 bolts, and that's just one spot right here. So do that all the way around. It's easily 50 plus bolts that have to go in. Added the rails on the side because you do need that for this bed rack to actually mount. And I thought, why not? Because I can utilize it for a bunch of other things. Mounted my Smittybilt CO2 tank into the back. Super easy with this because I just used it as a mount, and then it rests on the actual lip there, so all the weight's off of it. Rhino Rack sells a snowboard rack, which I got to mount with the mounts in this bed rack without any sort of modification, so that's awesome for the snowboard. And then the rear suspension, like I was talking about, is still stock. So these guys have a factory rake of 2.5 inches to 3 inches, depending on who's really measuring. So it's got a slight high rake in the front by 1/4 inch, not enough to bother me. Rides super nice, just like factory. Match some Foxes into the rear, so that I have matching shocks front and rear. And then a couple small little minor details. High beam off-road has some of their scene style lights. I put them on here, and so it shoots light everywhere into this area. So if you're on the trail or camping, whenever you need it. And then if you follow my videos, you saw that I did the LED headlights last time. Makes a huge difference. One of the things that I did with this Warn winch that came out super nice. Let's see if I can get this open here. Is the actual control box is in the engine bay. So it doesn't block any of this, plus it doesn't look nearly as gaudy. So ran it into the engine bay with some of their brackets that I made work to fit. Everything's where it should be. You don't see it, doesn't bother anyone, and it's out of the way. So if you guys have any questions or anything on it, let me know, shoot me a message. Comment down below. I'll do my best to get back to you guys. Otherwise, I have some huge things coming in here shortly. Now that I got a lot of the aesthetics done, now we get to start playing with the performance. Talk to you next video, guys.